Do you want to learn a language on your own? So don't go anywhere because today I'm going to share with you some tips to learn a language by yourself. Hi there, my name is Felipe and welcome to Route to Fluency. Every week you'll find here new tips on how to improve or learn a new language and everything you need to know about studying or working abroad. So if this is your first time here, consider subscribing and hit the bell notification so you don't miss anything. A lot of people ask me if it is possible to learn a language by themselves. And it actually is. As I told you before in the video that you can watch in here on how I learn English, you know, learning a language depends much more on you than on other external factors such as teachers and language schools. So today I decided to come here and give you tips to actually start learning alone. The first thing you need to do is to have a goal in your mind. If you don't have a goal, it's going to be very hard to, keep track on your progress in that specific language. Also, you need to be realistic when choosing your goal, because sometimes you're gonna say that you are going to study every day, and that may be very difficult for you because you're not used to that specific routine. So you need to keep that in mind and be realistic. Otherwise, you won't follow through your plans, and that may be very frustrating for you. I cannot recommend enough that you have some kind of reference before choosing your goals, because if you have some kind of reference, it's going to be easier to keep track on your development. So if you want, you can take a look at the CEFR, which stands for the Common European Framework of Reference for Languages. And they have levels from A1, which is the most basic one, to C2, which is more advanced. So you can take a look there and they have everything well, established, and you can see all the grammar, what you're gonna need to be on each level. So you can study based on those levels. However, if you don't want to study very focused on grammar and this kind of levels, you can actually adapt the study to your goal and what you need. Let's say you want to, travel abroad to another country and need to learn how to express yourself, you need to know how to buy things on your own. So you can, adapt those vocabularies to contexts you're going to use them to achieve your final goal, which is communicate when you get there and, just live, kind of survive when you get there. After you define your goal, you're gonna have to expose yourself to the language you are studying. So let's say you very much like to watch movies or TV series. You can watch these movies in the language you are studying, and also it would be perfect to watch those with subtitles in the language you are also studying, but sometimes might be very hard in the beginning. So don't push yourself too hard and watch it with subtitles in your own language until you adapt yourself to create a routine to actually, watching the subtitles of the language you're studying, and then even without subtitles at all. Another great way to expose yourself to the language is actually listening music. And you can listen to music, study the lyrics, and then try and sing them. And that's gonna help you very much with your fluency and also with your listening skills. One thing that is very important is to look for YouTube channels and blogs that are going to help you through the process of learning language by yourself. You can use, watch videos that are gonna help you take some doubts, specific doubts that you couldn't find a way to solve it on your own, and it's going to be very helpful. Also, you can find, contents and topics that are very interesting to you. So this is going to be very helpful way to actually get yourself, in contact with that specific language as well. One thing I really want you to try and to practice on a regular basis is the self-mirror talk technique, which is actually a technique for you to do right after you wake up or before you go to bed. And it's actually simple. We're just gonna, memorize some vocabulary. For example, introducing yourself, something you really want to practice and really want to, master. For example, introducing yourself in a specific language and talking about your hobbies and all this kind of stuff. So you're going in front of the mirror and you're gonna practice all of that talking to yourself. But I really want you to pay attention on your mouth, because it's very important in any language, the opening of your mouth and the position of your language and how much you open your mouth. Because as you can see, if I speak like this, the sound is different than I speak like this, sound like, I don't know, French or something. So when you watch the video, it's very important for you to actually notice on the mouth of the subject of speak. I really want you to pay attention to that. And when you're trying to, speak, try to actually speak opening your mouth, at least when you're doing the self-mirror talk technique, okay? If you're planning to learn a language by yourself, I cannot emphasize enough how important it is for you to use apps. I know, there are a lot of apps out there, right? So which one should you use? The one I recommend is actually Memorize, because it's very easy to use and it's based on flashcards, which basically compares your own language to the language you're studying to study sentences and vocabulary. And you can also attach some photos and also, audio. And as I said before, it's very easy to use, so you won't have any hard times, building your decks and studying the vocabulary you need to actually improve your language. Another app I really recommend you get into are apps where you can find language partners or native speakers, where you can actually practice your language, teach your language, and learn from others, because that way you're gonna learn way faster, having mistakes and have people to actually tell you what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. Also, apps like this, I really recommend the Tandem. Also, you can find apps like HiTalk. But if you don't want to download an app on your cell phone, you can actually look for this on the internet, on websites. And I really recommend WeSpeak and also Winter Pulse. And I'm gonna put all these links down here in the description for you to click there and actually start practicing from day one. I almost forgot to mention that if you ever need, for example, a tutor or some kind of teacher, you can actually go to italki.com. I'm gonna put also on the link down below. And sometimes you cannot find a specific answer for the doubt you have on the videos or the means I mentioned before. So you can actually hire a tutor or a teacher on italki, and it's gonna be very helpful. And they have a lot of different, costs, and you can look for the best one that suits your need. What about you? Do you use any other apps you think are very useful and didn't mention here in this video? So go down here and share with us in the comments. Before engaging a conversation with native speakers or other speakers that speak the language you are trying to practice, it is very important to prepare yourself. Because if you don't prepare yourself beforehand, you may find some barriers and you will get frustrated when someone doesn't understand you or you don't understand what they're trying to say. So it is very important for you to prepare yourself. And you can think about some vocabulary you're going to use in a conversation, such as your personal information, your hobbies, asking, questions about his life, questions about, common questions you may come across. And all of these is to actually help you to have more freely conversation. Your main goal here is not memorize, but it's just to have, that kind of answer, the structure in your mind. So when you're answering the question and having a conversation, it's more natural for you and you're gonna feel, every day more comfortable, every day more confident, and you're gonna feel that you're learning way faster than before. The last advice I have for you is to actually recommend you to engage on cultural events. Because, embassies and consulates, they usually do like annual kind of events to share the culture, cuisine, and it's very good for you to engage with the culture, not only with the language, and to actually meet a group that has the same interests as you do, because they also want to practice the language. And perhaps you can find some native speakers to practice in person, which is different from practicing online. You can actually find this kind of events and international parties on Couchsurfing. And I'll put the link down below, and if you want to check it out, just go there and click on the link. All the tips I gave here were only to get you started on the road of learning a language by yourself. But the most important thing here is to actually organize yourself, put everything on a schedule, and to follow through until it becomes a common habit. Listening and reading are extremely important. However, I do believe that everyone's true intention when learning a language is to actually speak it, to communicate with other people. So I recommend you start from day one, and also always practice the language when you get the chance. I really hope this video helps you to get started on learning a language by yourself. And we're also gonna make other blogs and videos about this subject. So if you like this video, give us a thumbs up, and also click on the button here to subscribe to Route Fluency and receive our weekly content. Also, if you would like to know a little bit more about us, go down here in the description and click on the link to actually visit our website. Thank you very much for sticking around this far, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye!